Welcome back to Seahawk Central Sports. I'm here with two members of the UNCW Ultimate Frisbee teams, Sarah Casey and Corey Morris. Guys, thanks for coming on the show today.
How you doing, Lucas?
So, for those of you out there who don't know about Ultimate Frisbee, tell us a little bit about it.
I can tell you about the sport. Ultimate kind of combines a lot of the aspects of football and soccer. You start off, you have end zones, and one team starts and does kind of like a kickoff, but we call it a pull to the other team. And then the other team has the disc, and they advance the disc up the field by throwing it. But the big difference, I guess, is when you catch the disc, you can't run with it. So you have to keep advancing the disc by throwing, and you have 10 seconds to throw.
So it sounds like a pretty fast-paced game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you drop the disc, it's the other team's disc. So quick turnovers, and the way to score is you catch the disc in the end zone. So it's a pretty fast-paced game. That's where kind of like the soccer quick turnovers come on, but the scoring's more like football.
Now, Ultimate Frisbee seems like a relatively new sport to me, at least. I've only started hearing about it in the past years. How long have y'all been playing?
I've only been playing it for about 2 years. I played in high school, like just pickup games after track practice and stuff like that, but not competitively until I got to college, just for 2 years. This
will be my 5th year playing, but Ultimate's been around. I think it got started in the late 60s, early 70s.
Now, do a lot of schools have teams? I mean, our school has a club team, but what about other schools?
I think there was about 250 teams in the college series last year that were competitive. I think there were around 900 teams total for the men's. Do you know how many?
Yeah, it's like 300 teams for women, but generally the most competitive teams, there's around like 150 for the women's teams, but it's pretty normal for a decent-sized university to have an Ultimate Frisbee team.
Now, what's it like being a club team? Do you have a coach? Do you guys recruit, or is it the same as normal college athletics, or is it a little bit different?
We have 2 coaches. Both actually played for UNCW. One was one of the founding members of the team in 1988, and another played in 2002. We recruited like orientation fairs and stuff like that. We sent out emails. In the involvement carnival, we'll have a table out there.
And we also have 2 coaches. One's played with one of the Seaman coaches. He helped start the team back in '88. And then we also have a female coach who had played with the team in the late '90s, early 2000s. But basically the big difference between like varsity and club for Ultimate is that our coaches are volunteers, and there's a lot more volunteer work and stuff like that compared to a varsity student.
So I assume you have to travel sometimes to play, correct? Mm-hmm. How do you get money for traveling?
The sports club, we get like budget points from the school. They fund us. I think we get about around $2,500 a year from the school, which isn't nearly as much money as you would need to fund a whole team traveling for discs and entry fees and hotels and gas and stuff like that. So a lot of times what we do is we hold tournaments here at the school. We have 2 or 3 a year that we host, guys and girls, and we'll make money off of that, and we'll put that towards the team. That'll pay for like our gas, hotels, and stuff like that. So we don't really pay too much out of pocket.
Now, what about the schedules? Is it a spring sport, fall, winter? Is it all 3?
The regular season is during the spring, but during the fall we like to, that's when we do most of our recruitment for new players. So we get new players to come out in the fall, and there are still tournaments in the fall, but just like the season is in the spring. So the fall is focused more on teaching people how to play and getting them to like more less competitive tournaments where they can get a lot of playing time. And then in the spring, we usually have 5 or 6 tournaments before the playoffs, I guess you would call them, start.
When it gets serious.
In April.
Now, you talk about playoffs. Both you all have successful teams. Both the men's and women's won states last year and advanced to regionals. Talk to me about the success and what that means for your team and the growth of Ultimate as a whole on this campus.
I think the success of our team comes mainly from, we got a new coach last year, and we've had coaches in the past, but our coach last year just really brought the team together. We had just an unprecedented level of like unity and just camaraderie. Like everybody always had each other's backs, which was something we had a problem with a lot in the past. We just always kind of argued with each other, just like in team fighting. Like rather we would kill ourselves. And last year, I think our success was definitely from our coach. He kept the team together. He kept everybody in check.
What about the women's team, Sarah?
So we both won states, and then we both advanced to regionals, which was the Atlantic Coast region, and the guys got second there, and we placed first in our region. So we both qualified for nationals last year, and that was the first time in like 9 years that both the Wilmington men and women's teams had been at nationals. And we used to be at nationals like every year during the 90s. So it's been really fun. When I came as a freshman to where we are today, where making nationals and setting the goal of winning nationals is our goal, compared to like when I first showed up, it was just like, yeah, whatever. So that's been really cool to see. And then we both teams tied for 5th at nationals. So each team made it to quarterfinals, which was pretty impressive.
That's incredible. So you both can say that you are the 5th best team in the country?
Tied for 5th,
yeah.
I'd say arguably our team should be considered 3rd. The only teams we lost to at nationals were the 1st and 2nd place teams. Everybody else we beat that we played. I mean, we didn't play every team, but
that's incredible. That's great success to have. Now, as a student, what can we do to help support the team, or how can we find out about games, events, or maybe if students want to try out themselves, how can they find out about y'all and your teams?
Practices Tuesday, Thursday nights at 6. Anybody's welcome to come out. If you don't know how to throw, we'll teach you how to throw. If you're athletic, it's a great game, especially if you played soccer before. Basketball will help too, just trying to body people out, go for the disc. We're always welcome new people out there. We'll teach anybody how to throw. Just come out.
And you can find out, you can get contact information from the sport club website, which is, I believe, linked to the campus recreation website. And you can just email one of our captains, say, hey, I'm interested in coming out, or how can I help? And coming out to practice, we just encourage people to come out, try it out, and see how it goes. And then we don't really have tryouts; it's just come on out and check it out. And then and if anybody just wants to come out and watch, we usually try and put Facebook events and stuff up about when we have tournaments. And we usually get a pretty good crowd out for when we have tournaments, and it's a lot of people to come out and watch.
Now, it sounds, I know, Corey, you're an upperclassman and you've been playing for quite some time. It seems like you guys are, I'm sure, leaders on your team. What kind of goals do you set for your team for this upcoming athletic year, and how do you prepare for the spring season and try to follow up the success you had last year?
I think we definitely want to improve on our performance at regionals. I think we got second, and we got to set our goals a little bit higher. I think we definitely want to win regionals this year, and we definitely want to show everybody at nationals, all the teams in the men's community. We're always the underdog no matter what our success was the next year. So I think we want to try and win nationals. I mean, set our goals high. I think we can absolutely do it.
Yeah, same for the women's team. This is our 2nd year at nationals, so we've been just trying to always set the goal of winning nationals. We came pretty close this past year, and even though we lost some players, I think that's still going to be the main goal. We have I was captain for 2 years, but now we have younger leadership, and I think they're setting the tone and setting their own goals. And I think that their goals are going to be the same thing, to just get better and always, gun for the #1 spot.
Excellent. That's great. Sarah, Corey, thank you all so much for coming out. I really appreciate it. Good luck on your upcoming season. Stay tuned to Seahawks Central Sports all year for updates on the Seaweed and the Seaman Ultimate Frisbee teams. Stay tuned, because when we come back, Ben and I will have a little fun as we discuss some current sports topic. Seahawks Central Sports will be right back.